Hey there, X-Men fans, this is Wesatron. Today we're going to be taking a look at Hasbro's Marvel Legends Rogue action figure. This is from the X-Men Legends series line, and it just came out in 2016. I haven't even seen them in stores yet. I just got this from BBTS in a case. They retail about $19.99 a piece. So, you come with the Juggernaut piece here, yellow background, yellow art on the sides, a nice shot of her, a little smirk there in the corner, kind of a little attitude from Rogue, which is always cool. On the back, we've just got Juggernaut and the other characters in the series. And then up here it says, with just one touch, Rogue can absorb anyone's superpowers, making her capabilities in any matchup nearly limitless. So pretty cool. A nice little description of Rogue there. Like I said before in all the other reviews, this is not much different in terms of packaging than anything we've seen in the line so far. So let's get her out and see what she's like. Here we have Rogue out of packaging. First, getting accessories out of the way. We've got Juggernaut's left leg Build-A-Figure piece. This is the first leg we've seen. Looks great. Nice little boot pattern there on the bottom, although it's unfortunate it doesn't go throughout the whole thing. We've got some nice texturing here on the boot itself. Unfortunately, no swivel here at the boot cuff. It looked like the perfect place to put it, but instead they chose to do a solid piece here that cannot be turned. So it's a bit unfortunate, but we'll talk more about that in the Juggernaut review. Her only other accessory is a pretty neat one. It is a right hand, fully articulated and everything. It's splayed open like the Jean Grey hands we saw, and that is an easy swap. The right hand pulls right out, and you can pop this hand in so that if Juggernaut's helmet could come off, she could easily sap his strength. But that's a neat little addition for fans of the character, so that she could actually use her powers logically. So that's pretty neat. No other real way, to make that an easily displayed power. So that's a cool little addition. I like it a lot. So figure itself, pretty slick. I don't really have any complaints, any major complaints about this figure. There's a little weirdness, but overall this is really cool. She's built on the Black Cat body. It's also been used for Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers. It's a much thicker body. You can see she has very large thighs here, much broader hips, a larger bust. The whole thing just looks more masculine, or not masculine, more muscular. So very, very cool. There's more pronounced muscles in the forearms and everything. Looks really neat. If you compare it next to like Kitty Pryde, for instance, you can see she's just a much thicker looking person, which is cool because it adds a lot of variety to the shelf. I mean, clearly these are people who are in different states of anatomy, which I think is really neat. So, cool. Now for the face, we've got a pretty nice look here. Get a little more light in here. We've got her classic white streaks through her brown hair. No additional paintwork on the hair itself, but it does look really good. Very nice sculpt work there. This is flexible for the headband. One of the weirder parts is just that they made the connection for the headband like a divot into the head where they placed like a peg and glued it in. So it's not too bad. Like when you're just messing around with it, it's not a big deal. But when you get up close, it does kind of look a little strange. But it's not a huge issue. Like I said, I mean, this is only when you get up really close to it. She does look a little bit like standard Marvel Legends females, where she's kind of got the wall-eyed look a little bit. Her eyes are just kind of wonkily far apart, like looking in different directions. And she just looks like a lot of them. She is helped out a little bit by the fact that she's got some makeup. She's got red lipstick, and if you can see it, a little bit of rouge on her cheeks, which is pretty cool. This dot up here is not supposed to be there. I'm going to pretend it's a beauty mark, but it's just an error on this figure. I can't get it off. So that's unfortunate, but we've got a new jacketed piece, or at least it seems new to me. It seems clear that they would use that to make a Dazzler figure, an 80s Dazzler, but now that they're doing, 70s Dazzler, I'm not sure if that's still going to happen. Why would you need two Dazzlers? In a mass market line, I should say, because I'm sure there's fans who want them. But here we've got red X's on the shoulders, sleeved upper arm pieces. We've got her floating belt that she always wore, kind of loose around her hips, and I think it's new. it looks like a newer piece. No extra paint details on it or anything. We do have some new pieces for the knees. These are floating on the top and bottom of the knee joints. You can see on the bottom here, it's just like a floating ring, and the top is like a floating cuff, because she always wore those knee-high boots. So that's kind of a nice way to replicate it that doesn't really get in the way of articulation. I like that a lot. And she does have standard flat feet, not the platform feet, thank goodness, and peg holes on the bottom. So sculpt-wise, pretty awesome. I like the look of this figure. I think it looks like Rogue, and I think it's going to fit in great with the other Marvel Legends X-Men. In terms of articulation, we do have a ball-jointed head. Get a little bit up and down, but not a ton, but that is aided by, oh no, I'm sorry, I forgot this body does not have a hinge in the neck. So that's really as far as you're going to get on her, which is a little unfortunate considering she's a flying character. I know a lot of people like to pose their characters flying. So yeah, the hair is going to block a lot of that, so that's a bit of a letdown. Swivel hinges in the shoulders. Hair gets in the way a little bit, but it moves out of the way. It's not too bad. Arms go out to there. Swivel hinge elbows. Still get 90 degrees, very nice. And swivel there. Swivel and hinge in both wrists. This one also pops out very easily, so very cool. We've got a ball jointed torso, which has a really great back motion. Like if this is your vanilla pose, she can go back really far, which is really nice. But if this is your vanilla, she goes forward very little. Not much at all, so that's a bit unfortunate. We've got swivel and then hinge, or a ball to the left and right as well. So pretty decent range. Forward could be better, but it's not terrible. Hips going out is still a little bit limited, but I don't think it's as bad as the Jean Grey / Shadowcat figures. I could be wrong, but it might just be because it's a different body, but it doesn't seem as bad. Leg goes forward about that far. Blocked by the butt, so it can't go back too far. Swivel in the thighs. First hinge gets you 90 degrees. Second hinge takes you still really far back despite the extra pieces here. I don't think anybody would be too disappointed in that. And if you wanted to, if it was really going to bug you, you could always, maneuver around that or take those pieces off if you really, really wanted to. No swivels in the thighs, unfortunately, or in the calf, unfortunately. And then we've got hinges down in the ankle that go really far back. And unfortunately, this body doesn't allow them to go very far forward. It's very, very limited because of the where the peg is on the boot. If they had cut this piece a little higher, like this lump right here, if they'd cut that out a little bit more, made a U shape up there, you could get a ton of range out of that. So that might be a mod that you want to try yourself, but that's up to you. There's also a swivel there as well, which makes it a swivel hinge joint. It goes left and right, which will help you a little bit with balancing, but would help a lot more if it did have a swivel in the calf. So yeah, pretty decent figure overall. So comparing her with some of the other figures in the wave, you can see she's just a tad shorter than Shadowcat over here, a little bit shorter than the males as well. Bobby's much taller, and of course Cable is enormous, but she is going to top out right at 6 inches tall. Right at 6 inches. So I don't know how that fits in with her Marvel Universe official scale, but she does seem a little bit tall compared, or a little bit short compared to Shadowcat, but I think that's more of an issue of Shadowcat being a little too tall and not really her fault at all. So this figure, as I said, is about $20, which is not bad considering you get the Juggernaut piece, lots of new sculpting, and I really like the extra hand. I think that was a clever little thing. The only thing that would have made it better is if she had an alternate left hand that was an open hand holding a glove. Because she always, at least I remember in the cartoons a lot, would take her glove off and hold it in her right hand, or in her left hand, and then touch with her right hand. So that would be a nice little touch, but, it wasn't required. They already had this piece lying around, and they did so much extra tooling for this figure that I can see why they didn't want to go ahead and jump in on that. But, yeah, 20 bucks. It's a beefier figure than Phoenix, so it seems, like it's worth more money. And like I said, she's got the jacket, the new head, the cuffs, the boot cuffs, and the extra ring. It feels like it's a more substantial purchase for your money. Like more money went into developing it than, on the Phoenix. But that's all going to depend on you. If you're an X-Men fan, Rogue fan, of course you're going to pick it up, but to each his own. So, that's it for this one. If you have any questions or comments, please throw them in the box below. I'd be glad to answer them for you. If you would like to see more X-Men Legends please give me a subscription, and we will see where we go from there. I'll have more posting up every couple days, so and if you feel froggy, give me a rate. Whether you liked it or hated it, I don't care. I just want to know. So thanks, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.